At that time, the meditator can discern the mentality which is taking the kala as object. So this is the system only. So if you want to discern this cognitive process, cognitive process you should learn by heart. If you do not learn by heart, you cannot understand. Number one, phyto-adipati consciousness. Number two, eye consciousness. Number three, receiving consciousness. Number four, investigating consciousness. Number five, decision consciousness. Then seven, impulsions jhanas. After that, two registering my movements. Altogether they are 14. If you see me, these cognitive arise systematically. They never change this system. This is Chitta Niyama, the fixed law. After that, there may be many pointers. Then, mind-cognitive process. That mind-cognitive process also takes this kala, same kala. But same kala is similarity only, not really. Same means here similarity only because kala is also a nature impermanent. As long as they arise, they pass away. But their lifespan is 70 mind moments. When 70 mind moments pass away, then this kala will disappear. But similar kalas successfully will arise. Because there are many kalabas. One, in each mind moment there are three stages: rising stage, standing stage, and perishing stage. In rising stage also there are four types of kalabas or four types of materiality: mind-born materiality, karma-born materiality, mind-born materiality, temperature-born materiality, nutriment-born materiality. So they always rise. But their lifespan is 70 mind moments. In the same way, standing place also there are mind, karma-born materiality, temperature-born materiality, nutriment-born materiality. But standing place, no mind-born materiality, because mind-born materiality has only rising stage. Rising stage, mind is very strong. But standing stage, in perishing stage, mind is very weak. That mind cannot produce new kalabas. So because of this reason, in every mind moment, in the same way, perishing stage also karma-born materiality, temperature-born materiality, nutriment-born materiality. Their lifespan is 70 mind moment. But this is number one mind moment. Number two mind moment, sense. These four types of materiality rise. Then number three mind moment also sense. These four types of materiality rise. In every mind moment they rise in this way. So number one mind moment, materialities which rise together with number one mind moment, they will cease number 70 mind moment together. Then number two mind moment, they will cease number 18. Then number three mind moment, they will cease together with number 90 mind moment. So in this way, if we see from 70 mind moment, there are many different types of materialities, they are rising. There are many different types of materialities, they are perishing. There are many different types of materialities, they are standing. So because of this reason, same kala, although there are many bhujas between two cognitive process, that same kala, the mind-cognitive will realize that kala. For example, if you want to do this cognitive process, number one, you should try to discern translucent element. Then you should try to discern Poika Mando. You should pay attention a group of small particles kala. Why? One kalabas kala is not the object of unconsciousness. It is the object of mind consciousness only. Mind consciousness rests dependent on your heart place. So I consciousness cannot take this one kalabas kala. Because of this reason, if you want to understand about I do cognitive process, you should try to take a group of small particles color. When color impinges both toes, that color impinges both toes simultaneously. At that time, I do cognitive rise according to sequentially. Then, according to sequence, when they arise, Advanced consciousness arises depending on your heart space. I consciousness arises depending on your I translucent element here. Then receiving consciousness will arise here. Investigating, decision, 7 types of impulsion, to registering mind, and other mind movements, they will arise here. In the same way, mind-cognitive process. Mind-advanced consciousness, and 7 jhanas, 7 impulsions, and 2 registering mind, they also will arise here only. So here only one mind movement. Here, a lot of mind movement. If you want to understand I consciousness with associated mental formations, there are 8. Consciousness, contact, feeling, perception, volition, life faculty, one-pointedness, life faculty, and attention altogether, there are 8 types. If you want to listen these 8 types, you must wait and see here only. If you see here, you cannot see. Because only just one mind movement. So, system is very important. But if you want to do some mentality, you do not understand what is transparency, translucent, what is going on mind door. Without understanding these 2 different doors, if you do some mentality, you cannot understand this cognitive process. Is it true? You may have been practiced different types of Vipassana. Do you understand this cognitive process with associated mental formations in each mind movement? Do you understand? No. This is because they do not practice systematically according to Buddha's teaching. So if you want to understand this ultimate mentality, you should practice systematically according to Buddha's teaching. Okay? It should be similarly understood with the other 5 doors. In each mind movement, these mentalities contain only 4 mental aggregates: feeling, perception, formations, and consciousness. Therefore, in each mind movement, there are 5 aggregates together with materiality of base and object. Base here, base is in this case here, how many? 54 things. 6 types of kalabas. Here, 6 types of kalabas. They are materiality. The color also materiality. So, together with this materiality, they are all together in each mind movement 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates means, for example, here I consciousness. This is the aggregate of consciousness. Among 7 universal mental factors which associate with I consciousness, there is feeling. Feeling is feeling aggregate. There is perception. Perception is perception aggregate. The remaining mental formations 5. Volition, one-pointedness, life faculty, attention, manasikara. Then contact. Altogether 5. These 5 are the formations aggregate. The aggregate of formation. So altogether there are 5 aggregates in each mind movement. Every mind movement there are 5 aggregates, 5 aggregates, 5 aggregates. If you want to practice Vipassana, you must try to understand these 5 aggregates in every mind movement. Is it okay? Please practice, don't worry. You should have enough concentration. Very good. Develop concentration. A bhikkhu who has concentrated mind understands the Dhammas as they really are. So if you have enough concentration, you can understand these Dhammas as they really are. So don't be worried. Please practice systematically. It is possible. Okay. Then, therefore, in each mind moment, there are 5 aggregates together with the materiality of base object. Here, base means the materiality of 6 doors. For example, in the idol, there are 6 types of kalapa, which are made up of 54 types of, as mentioned above, 54 types of materiality. And the object is kala. The mentality in every mind moment arises solely dependent on its own base. Without base, it can never arise in the sense sphere world. While practicing Vipassana, the meditator must contemplate the mentality of sense sphere, which takes 6 types of material objects as impermanence, suffering, or non-self. This is the suggestion of commentaries Visuddhimagga, Volume 2, page number 300 and 301. Atha Salini commentary, page number 271. There are also some meditators who practice other samatha meditation subjects such as the 10 katinas, 8 attainments, 4 sublime vitals, and so on. They too must contemplate those jhana dhammas in the same way as described in the above second and third tract. So the meditator must contemplate the different types of 5 aggregates, seeing their dissolution as impermanence, suffering, or non-self, while breathing in and while breathing out. For that reason, it is said that when practicing samatha or vipassana, the meditator trains that I shall breathe in, contemplating impermanence. He trains that I shall breathe out, contemplating impermanence. Anicca-nubhasi. Then another is Viraga-nubhasi, Asa-sesa-miti sekati, Viraga-nubhasi, Pasa-sesa-miti sekati. He trains that I shall breathe in, contemplating fading away. He trains that I shall breathe out, contemplating fading away. There are 2 kinds of fading away. Number 1, fading away as distraction, kriya viraga, and fading away, absolute fading away, echanta viraga. Here in fading away as distraction is the momentary dissolution of formations. That is the 5 aggregates. Absolute fading away is nibbana. While practicing vipassana, the meditator must try to see the dissolution of the formations, that the 5 aggregates. He must contemplate them as impermanence, suffering, or non-self at the actual moment of insight. The insight knowledge will destroy the defilements temporarily, moment by moment. When the vipassana insight becomes fully matured, at the end of insight, Path knowledge will arise, taking nibbana as the object. In nibbana, there is no mentality and no materiality, and therefore craving, which is one type of mental pattern, fades away absolutely in the nibbana, viraga. For that reason, it is said that while practicing vipassana or while realizing nibbana, the meditator trains that I shall breathe in, contemplating the fading away of craving, viraga-nubhasi. He trains that I shall breathe out, contemplating the fading away of craving, viraga-nubhasi. You must contemplate them as anicca, dukkha, and anatta only, these 5 aggregates, or their causes, together with their causes. This is your responsibility. But that contemplation or insight knowledge will eradicate temporarily the craving. Because of this, at that time you are inclining also towards nibbana. Why you practice vipassana? You want to realize nibbana or you want to attain nibbana. This is called your attention, your intention. That intention is called inclination to nibbana. Then number 3, Nirodhanupasi. He trains thus and shall breathe in contemplating cessation. He trains thus and shall breathe off contemplating cessation. The same method of explanation that applies to fading away also applies to the above three sentences. The contemplating cessation. That sentence. The momentary dissolution of formations is the momentary cessation, khana nirodha. The absolute cessation is nibbana, ichanta nirodha. Number 4. He trains thus and shall breathe in contemplating relinquishment. He trains thus and shall breathe off contemplating relinquishment. Paticca nupasi. There are two kinds of relinquishment. Relinquishment as giving up. Parichaka paticca. Relinquishment as entering into hosaka paticca. The meditator seeing the dissolution of formations must contemplate it as impermanent, separate or non-self. One contemplating in this way, the insight knowledge temporarily relinquishes the defilements together with their aggregate producing karma formations. And through seeing the suffering of those formations, it, Vipassana insight knowledge, enters into Nibbana by inclining towards it. Therefore, Vipassana insight is called both relinquishment as giving up, parichaka paticca, and relinquishment as entering into hosaka paticca. The meaning is maybe deep, but I want to explain again. One contemplating these formations. What are formations? 5 aggregates. What are 5 aggregates? 11 types of 5 aggregates. Not only present, past, 5 aggregates, present, 5 aggregates, future, 5 aggregates, internal, 5 aggregates, external, 5 aggregates, gross, 5 aggregates, subtle, 5 aggregates, inferior, 5 aggregates, superior, 5 aggregates, far, 5 aggregates, near, 5 aggregates, altogether 11. These 11 types of 5 aggregates you must contemplate as contemplate them as anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Systematically, sometimes anicca, sometimes dukkha, sometimes anatta. Not 3 together. But for easy understanding only we must write in this way. While contemplating in this way, Vipassana insight will relinquish defilements temporarily. For example, if you contemplate as anicca, that anicca insight will eradicate, will destroy the defilement of conceit, mana, conceit. You have a lot of pride to yourself. When you are contemplating these 5 aggregates, you can see only mentality and materiality. As soon as they pass away very, very. At that time, you cannot see I. At that time, conceit will disappear. Not only conceit, but also the karma. That conceit, mana, can produce karma. When wholesome dhamma or unwholesome dhammas arise, they never become what called they always can produce their own result. Usually they have the power to produce their own result. But one practice in Vipassana, that Vipassana insight, you may see that conceit, but that conceit cannot produce new existence. No power because of the insight knowledge. Insight knowledge eradicates this conceit. Because of the reason that conceit has no power to produce future existence. So this is clear. aggregate producing karma formation. This is concept also aggregate producing karma formation. It has the power to produce new existence. When you contemplate this mana concept as anicca dukkha anatta, that mana cannot produce new existence. This is the meaning. In the same way, if you can contemplate those five aggregates as suffering dukkha, then that contemplation will relinquish negative attachment. If you see these five aggregates, they are always oppressed to you by rising in passing way. At that time, if you see this oppressing nature, then you have no much attachment to these five aggregates, temporary. And then that attachment also has the power to produce new existence. But because of what Vipassana insight is contemplating these formations or these five aggregates as suffering, because of this insight, that attachment has no power to produce new aggregates, new conditions. So it also relinquishes. In the same way, if you contemplate these five aggregates as anatta, non-self, at that time, such type of contemplation also relinquishes the perception of atta, wrong view. At that time, you will not see atta. Because of this reason, you contemplate these formations as anatta. That anatta insight knowledge can relinquish that wrong view deity. But if you contemplate this deity as nature, dukkha, and anatta, that deity also can produce new future existence. But because of the power of this insight, that wrong view cannot produce new future existence. Temporarily, while practicing Vipassana, this conceit, this craving, this wrong view may arise occasionally. But you contemplate them as nature, dukkha, anatta. Because of this reason, they have no power to produce new future existence. Why you must contemplate these unwholesome dhammas as nature, dukkha, anatta? Many people, they have such strong attachment there also. These unwholesome dhammas. For example, I am very greedy. They grasp this greedy, they have attachment to this greedy. Oh, I love my son so much. I love my daughter so much. They have attachment against this attachment. First attachment, they have new attachment. They have attachment to that attachment again. Because of this reason, they cannot go out from their home. I go to 6 month retreat to Pa-Auk. Not easy. Because of this attachment. So, but you must contemplate it as nature, dukkha, anatta. If you can contemplate this attachment, then that attachment has no power to produce new future existence. Is it good? Very good. See? Number 2, the path knowledge is also called both relinquishment as giving up, parityāga, patinissaka, and relinquishment as entering into vāsaka, patinissaka. When the path knowledge realizes Nibbana, it gives up or destroys the defilements with their aggregate producing karma formations. By cutting them off, and it enters into Nibbana by making it its object. What is the meaning? At the end of your mature Vipassana insight, path knowledge and fruition knowledge will arise. Path knowledge realize Nibbana. Taking Nibbana as object, path knowledge arises. Because of this reason, at that time, with the assistance of the power of Nibbana, path knowledge destroying defilement, stage by stage. The path knowledge will eradicate the defilement stage by stage. When you become Arhat, all defilements will disappear. All defilements cease completely without remainder. They will never arise again. At that day, your karma has no power. That karma means before Arhat stage, you had already accumulated many wholesome and unwholesome karmas. They have the power to produce new future existence. But when you begin Arhat, they have no power to produce new future existence. Because of this reason, ignorance, craving, clinging, volitional formations and karma cease completely without remainder. When you realize Nibbana with Arhampa, fruition knowledge. Because of the power of Arhampa, all wholesome and unwholesome karmas have no power to produce new existence. In the same way, when you become Sotapanna, your birth knowledge also will satisfy Sakaya Deity, person identity view or personality view. And Vicikiccha, skepticism, doubt, completely without remainder. Because of this reason, before Sotapanna stage, before you are becoming Sotapanna, you have accumulated many wholesome and unwholesome karmas. These unwholesome karmas have no power to produce new existence in one of four woeful states. You already escaped from woeful states. You may reborn in human world or Deva world or Brahma world. But I want to encourage you, if you become Sotapanna, please maintain your jhana concentration. If you can maintain this jhana concentration up to that moment, it is sure, definitely I think it. You can reborn in Brahma world. If you reborn in Brahma world, you will never come back to human world or Deva world. Within 7 lives, you can become Arhat. Within 7 lives means in that very life or next future life, you can become Arhat. So, this is very sure. Again, if you become Skatagami, you can come back to be reborn in this human world once only. But if you become Nagami, all wholesome karmas and unwholesome karmas which will produce to be reborn in sensual world have no power to produce its result. Only jhana dhammas can produce to be reborn in Brahma world. But if you become Rahat, all wholesome and unwholesome karmas have no power to produce its result. So because of this reason, if you become noble ones, then at that day, you are also still breathing. When you become Sotapanna, you are also still breathing. When you become Sakadagami, Nagami or Arhat, you are breathing. But that, at that time, both insight and path knowledge are called contemplation and Vipassana. Because the meditator successfully reviews again and again each preceding kind of knowledge. Therefore, if the meditator practices this twofold contemplation, that it can be understood that he is breathing in and breathing out while contemplating relinquishment. For that reason, it is said that while practicing Vipassana, while realizing Nibbana, the meditator trains that I shall breathe in contemplating relinquishment. He trains thus I shall breathe out contemplating relinquishment. Paticca Nupasi. So when practicing also Vipassana, you are breathing still. While realizing Nibbana also, you are still breathing. But that breathing is very meaningful breathing. So according to Buddha's teaching, if you can breathe systematically, you can become Sotapanna, you can become Sakadagami, you can become Nagami, you can become Rahat. Is it good? And go, please practice according to Buddha's teaching to breathe. This is how mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, so that it is of great fruit and great benefit. This is Anapana Sati Sutta, Sayadaw Nikaya, second volume, Page number 279, Anapana Sutta. In Majjhima Nikaya 118. This is Sutta number. So we have already explained about 16 types of knowledge and 3 types of full understanding. So today let us stop here. If you have any question, you can ask me.
I'm just curious about the past life, how contemplation of past life on the Theravada, the contemplation. We know that some people are born with knowledge of past life. And from what I know, the knowledge of past life is a avena. But this knowledge of past life that Sayadaw mentioned here, is it an avena?
This is Vipassana. If you study Krishniya Sutta of Sayadaw Nikaya, in Khandavaka Sayadaw, there's one sutta called Krishniya. Divine, it translates Divine Sutta. In that sutta, Buddha explained Vipassana insight can contemplate past 5 aggregates, present 5 aggregates, future 5 aggregates. Again, if you study Susima Sutta, Nidana Vaka Sayuddha, there is one sutta called Susima Sutta. In that Susima Sutta, Venerable Susima, without practicing jhana, without practicing sex power, vijnana, he practiced pure Vipassana. When he became Arhat, Buddha asked him, do you understand? Because of the ignorance, formations rise. Yes, Bande, I understand. In this way, Buddha asked many questions about the origination, forward order. In the same way, Buddha also asked cessation order or negative order. Because of the complete cessation of ignorance, formations cease completely without remainder. Do you see this? Yes, Bande. In this way, Buddha explains. So without jhana, without sex power of vijnana, one can see the present origination, both regular order and cessation order or negative order. Don't be worried. Oh, possible. Vipassana has power. Vipassana in fact has the power, very strong, powerful concentration. That concentration produces strong, powerful light. With the assistance of the light of wisdom, if you pay attention, focus, that light of wisdom will go up to past life. In the dark, if you use torch, if your battery is very powerful, you can see everything inside the room. Is it true? In the same way, this wisdom faculty produces strong, powerful light, better than torchlight. So, at that time you can see, if you pay attention, then you can see all. Please go to 6-month retreat, don't worry.
On the part that which you explain about the insight knowledge, how temporarily relinquish the defilement. You mentioned about that how the strong power of insight knowledge can make our wrong view attachment and mana defilement that cannot produce a karma. I do not understand that part, that how during the process of contemplating of the anatta, dukkha and anatta, how come the defilements can arise?
Maybe if you pay attention, if you do not practice Vipassana, you may have a lot of conceit, mana. But when practicing Vipassana, you see only materiality and mentality. They are not permanent. They are always impermanent. Both eternal and external, past or present or future, eternal or external, all are impermanent. If you see impermanent, at that time you will not see I. in this way, I am, this is mana, this is conceit. That conceit we cannot arise because of this reason. But when it, sometimes you may contemplate this mana also as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Other than this conceit may arise. But you are contemplating this mana conceit as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Because of the power of that contemplation, that mana although may arise temporarily, but can have no power to produce new future existence. In the same way, if you contemplate other mental formations such as mentality and materiality, all, in the same way, if you practice, if you contemplate it as nature, impermanent, and then you see impermanent nature, such type of contemplation also can relinquish the defilements temporarily. When they relinquish the defilements, not only the defilements but also these defilements have the power to produce new future existence. That power also can testify.
For Vipassana, meditation needs to penetrate suffering, impermanent, and non-self. But come to wise attention. As this afternoon you explained, needs to add one more is asoba. So what's the reason to adding this for wise attention?
She is very beautiful, my wife is very beautiful, my heart is very beautiful. To remove such type of perception, Buddha also teach, they are not beautiful. Why? When you see this materiality and mentality, that materiality, please pay attention inside, especially. They have very sweet smell or bad smell. How do you think? Sweet smell or bad smell? Yes, they are reversible. This reversible nature is called asubha. They are very ugly. This is one. Another is jara. They have the nature of decay. Do you understand? They have the nature of perishing. Is it good or no? They are reversible. If they are permanent, it is okay, very good. But they are not permanent. They have the nature of birth. They have the nature of decay. They have the nature of death. Is it subha? This is also asubha. So when contemplating these formations as nature, dukkha, and anatta, Buddha also teaches to contemplate them as asubha. In the same way, one contemplating mentality, some mentalities, especially unwholesome mentalities, lobha, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, conceit, jealousy, envy, etc., they are reversible. Why? They can produce a happy mind. They can produce to be reborn in hopeful state. They have the power to produce to be reborn in hopeful state. So they are beautiful or not? They are not beautiful, they are reversible. So you must contemplate them as nature, dukkha, anatta, and asubha. In the same way, wholesome dhammas. Depending on wholesome dhammas, you may have a lot of problem. I get over, taking over. I get serve my mother, my father. They never serve their mother and father. They put like jail in hospital. So if you set, depending on your wholesome karma, you have a lot of problem, you have a lot of attachment. Such type of wholesome dhammas also reversible because they can produce new existence. Depending on wholesome karma, you may wish, maybe you may offer some ropes to the bhikkhu. One offering this Sivra, you may wish for realization of Nibbana. But before realization of Nibbana, I may become beautiful man or beautiful woman, etc. You may wish. Such type of wholesome karma can produce new future existence. Is it good? No good. So they are reversible. Asubha. It is not easy, but they should try to understand by themselves. It is better. So I have been told, or no, I may repeat again. In the name of Buddha, Venerable Buddha has one disciple. He is very handsome, young and handsome, very beautiful. Venerable Buddha thought. Such type of person may have less full temperament, may have strong, powerful attachment to their own body. See mirror frequently. Making here different color. So they have strong attachment. This is his thought. Because of that, he gave repulsive meditation, asubha meditation. But the meditator, he don't want to see this repulsive thing. So, within 3 months, range retreat, he practiced diligently, but he cannot attain any achievement. Then Venerable Buddha carried his disciple after Hosa to the Buddha, to pay respect to the Buddha. And then Venerable Buddha informed to the Buddha the situation of his disciple. Then Buddha says, "Oh, Buddha, please leave your disciple here. Then in the evening you will see your disciple become Rahat." Why? Buddha understands his temperament. Latent characteristic, his characteristic, previous characteristic. Successfully in previous life he became goldsmith. He always see beautiful things only. He don't want to see ugly ones. This is his temperament. Buddha understands, can read this temperament. Venerable Buddha cannot read this temperament. If Venerable Buddha cannot read, we also you also cannot read. So, but Buddha gave red color Brahma lotus flower, very big, like bullock wheel, chariot wheel, very big. Then gave this flower, Buddha create with his power, and then gave this flower to that bhikkhu. Please go to the corner of Jetavana monastery. Please meditate there, red kasina. When he saw this very beautiful lotus flower, his mind became very happy. He wanted to see this one. So, very soon he attained up to 4th jhana, depending on this red color kasina circle. At that time, Buddha set his race and then tried to go to Vipassana. Then he practiced Vipassana systematically. How? He understood Venerable Buddha teaching how to practice Vipassana systematically within 3 months. So he already understood how to practice. Then he practiced Vipassana. At the evening, he became Arhat.
Sayadaw, may I ask, if let's say a person uses his meditative power to prevent certain things from happening, like maybe disaster coming, and he uses his power to prevent the disaster from happening. So may I ask, what is going to happen to that person? We fall sick, or maybe that disaster didn't happen, but something else happened, either to him or to maybe the world.
Maybe you should try to understand the workings of karma. For example, whenever Theravada in our Buddha are cousin, Theravada is the brother of Yasodhara. They are sister and brother. So they are related very close to each other. Buddha has allowed metta to Theravada. But because of his unwholesome karma, he was sure to be swallowed inside the earth. Buddha can do nothing. When he is sick, blood is coming out from his mouth. Buddha can do nothing. Buddha has the Allah metta, Allah karuna, Allah mudita, Allah upaka. These four sublime bodies cannot cure his disease. He cannot also sit not to go down into the hell. So, depending on his karma, he must suffer his own suffering. In the same way, nowadays there are many patients. Depending on their karma, this bad feelings he must feel. We cannot do, we can do nothing, but we can help them to give suitable medicine, etc. only. But he may be cured or he may be not cured, it depends on his own karma. Sometimes we can do nothing.
Sayadaw, can I understand karma as a kind of power to produce existence again and again? And Vipassana meditation can establish a kind of ability for meditator that enables to stop this kind of power. After that, then it's
Maybe Nibbana is, there are two types. Metaphorically, that cessation state is also called Nibbana. Metaphorically, actually is just Asangata Dhatu. This is supramundane Nibbana. That cessation state, the complete cessation of aggregates, the complete cessation of karma. Ignorance, craving, clinging, positional formations and karma. Such type of complete cessation without remainder is the object of Vipassana only, especially Uddiyavya Jnana. But unformed element Asangata Dhatu, this is supramundane Nibbana. That supramundane Nibbana is the object of Patni, fruition, knowledge. That is also supramundane consciousness. So they are two different things. Vipassana insight can see this complete cessation of five aggregates as well as complete cessation of five causes. So this is, in other words, they are result only. Result means because of the power of Arhampa as well as the power of Nibbana. These two types of complete cessation. Two types means the complete cessation of ignorance, craving, clinging, original formations and karma. This is one type. Then another type is complete cessation of five aggregates. This is also another type of complete cessation. But the complete cessation of the filaments is called Parinibbana, Sa-ubadisesa Nibbana. In other words, they are also called Kilesa Parinibbana. This is the object of Vipassana only. Then, complete cessation of five aggregates, this is final cessation, Parinibbana. This is also called Anubhadisesa Nibbana. They translate in different ways. Anubhadisesa Nibbana means complete cessation of five aggregates only. And then, in other words, they are also called Khanda Parinibbana. Complete cessation of five aggregates only. So this is also the object of Vipassana. But that complete sensation appears when meditator realize Nibbana by 4 types of path knowledge and 4 types of process knowledge. So that Nibbana is another one. This is Subramanic Nibbana.
Can I please clarify something? The other day, Sayadaw mentioned that for a person to practice jhana, when they move from first jhana to second jhana, they have to analyze the jhana factors. And they get out of jhana and they analyze the jhana factors. And Sayadaw mentioned that the concentration level at that time is excess concentration. And Sayadaw also mentioned the word similar to Vipassana. But today, Sayadaw explained about the doing Vipassana using this Kanika Samadhi. So I'm a little bit confused. Is it that for movement from first jhana to second jhana to third jhana, the concentration that is used to analyze the factors is excess concentration, but the concentration that is used to do Vipassana is Kanika Samadhi. Is that correct?
No excess concentration, this is also momentary, Kanika. But metaphorically, they call this is also excess concentration. Metaphorically only. Metaphorically means when they practice 4 elements meditation, 4 element meditation systematically, one day they may see kalapa, sub-atomic particles. If they can analyze those kalapas, they can see 4 elements in each kalapa. Such type of knowledge is also called excess concentration. This is metaphorically only, not real excess concentration. Why? 4 elements meditation cannot produce to attain jhana. So, the concentration actually close to the jhana, that concentration is excess concentration. But there is no jhana. We cannot say excess concentration. Actually, this is Kanika Samadhi, momentary concentration only. However, there is real excess concentration close to jhana. That concentration in this 4 elements meditation concentration, they are similar to each other. Because of that similarity, they are also called excess concentration only. In the same way, while you are reviewing 2 disadvantages, not analyzing when practicing samatha, reviewing 2 disadvantages as well as 1 advantage. At the time, such type of knowledge is called, we call picture vakana, reviewing knowledge only, not concentration. But that reviewing knowledge is a little bit similar to Vipassana in this way. Ijame Bunya Aswakya Mahahodu Ijame Bunya Nibbana Sa Patsyo Hodu Ijame Bunya Sabha Sadhana Pajema Tesabe Mesama Punya Baga Labandu